guys at Martin Peyton's letter's lawyer running all over town asking questions.
That's what Wainwright's paid for.
And I pay you to keep me out of trouble.
You have to be honest with me. How much truth was there in your wife's letter to her father?
None whatsoever.
Remember, Les, you're talking to somebody who knew you pretty well in the old days.
Catherine suffered delusions while she was ill. That's why she added that codicil.
I see.
But her state of mind might be misinterpreted.
An obvious interpretation is that your relationship with Elizabeth Carson was more than casual, and Catherine found out about it.
I told you, it's nothing but a pack of lies.
Catherine believed you went to break it off with Elizabeth the very night she was murdered.
Ted.
And that could be taken as hinting at something far more serious than infidelity.
Are you taking that hint?
Elizabeth Carson was a very attractive woman.
You just said we're not talking about infidelity.
No, we're not.
How long have you known me?
Since you were a boy.
Since I was a boy, and all the time I've been a man. Now, you just tell me, do you think I could possibly be a murderer?
No.
Why did you hesitate?
Because it's not the kind of question you answer quickly.
Why not?
Because it's the kind of question that had to be asked.
That's ridiculous.
Liz, do you mind if I say something very frankly?
By all means.
I've seen Elliot Carson grow up. I knew his father, the family. I never felt Elliot Carson could be a murderer.
So where does that leave us?
Just where we started. I'm your lawyer, and I'm telling you that this attempt to revoke the codicil of Catherine's will is going to create a mess. Was Peyton's lawyer in town asking questions?
Well, stop him.
How can I? Besides, Les, what can he find out?
I'll get it.
Oh, Mr. Carson. Oh, Norman. Come on in.
Thank you. I'd like to see your father if he's at home.
Dad?
Well, good evening, Elliot.
Hey, well, hello, Mr. Dahl. Nice to see you. How are you?
Fine, thank you, fine. I'll be calling him.
I'd like to talk to you.
Thank you, Norman. Shouldn't you be doing your homework?
Yes, sir.
Good night, Dad. Good night, Mr. Carson.
No, Norman.
You know, Elliot, it's pretty late. I've had a rough day.
Well, this won't take long. I just want an answer.
An answer to what?
How well did you know my wife? I just had a visit this afternoon from a man named Wainwright. He's your father-in-law's attorney. How well did you know my wife?
Are you out of your mind?
You didn't know her?
Only to talk to.
Where? When?
Of course I knew her. You're not thinking, Elliot. Elizabeth went to school with my sister.
That's not what I'm talking about.
But I am. Now, you've had your answer.
Then why did your father-in-law's attorney come to me?
To stir up trouble, and apparently he did. Now, you can believe that, or you don't have to. It doesn't really make any difference to me. But just to put your mind at ease, I'll say it in so many words. I never had anything to do with your wife. That's the truth. Now, you can have a drink if you want one. Otherwise...
Yes?
Dr. Rossi, if I gave you a scare, I'm sorry. My sister used to live here. I'm Paul Hanley.
Oh, yes, yes. Come in, come in.
Oh, I used to go for nautical junk, ship's lanterns and all, when I was a kid. When you grow up, you have a change of perspective. You see things differently. Do you like living here?
Very much.
I'm afraid I wouldn't. I'm afraid it's not for me at all.
Well, I can see where it might have some painful associations for you.
No, I wasn't thinking of that. It's, the clutter.
Well, can I get you a drink?
Yes.
What would you care for?
Cognac? If you have any.
Yes, I have. Why, didn't you think I would?
Frankly, yes.
Well, why did you ask for it?
Tout ça change. Tout c'est la même chose.
The more it changes, the more it remains the same.
You surprise me.
Why?
Well, thank you. You're a civilized man, Dr. Rossi. Sorry I hesitated so long to impose on your hospitality.
Well, you shouldn't have. Well, it's too cold outside to go around looking in people's windows.
Oh, I don't make a habit of that. I have seen your lights many times when I've been walking along the dunes. I walk here often.
Well, I'd like to walk on the beach myself.
Do you, Doctor? Is that just a phony sort of reassurance a doctor hands his patient?
You're not my patient. I'm not reassuring you anything. I'm simply making a statement, that's all. I'd like to take walks.
Are you a pilgrim or a wayfarer? A pilgrim stands out all over you.
What do you mean, a pilgrim?
Man with a destination. May I?
Oh, yes.
You're a pilgrim, Dr. Rossi. You know where you're going.
What about you? You don't know?
I don't care where I'm going and not where I've been. I'm a wayfarer, wanderer.
Mr. Hanley, why do you bother to go anywhere?
I like looking at the sights.
And you like to talk?
That, too.
Mr. Hanley, you fling words around like a man that kicks up a cloud of dust hoping to find some place to hide.
Don't psychoanalyze me, Doctor.
Well, don't come here begging for it.
I didn't come here to argue with you. This place drew me. I was half afraid that if I knocked, it might not be you who answered. It's like being a little boy again and hurrying home after dark, looking for the lighted window, the smell of the wood smoke. I was afraid, or I hoped, that it would be her. I'd knock and she'd be standing there waiting to scold me for coming home so late, to tell me to wash my hands before supper.
Come in.
Thank you.
Enter the second pilgrim.
Hello, Paul.
Elliot?
Am I interrupting something?
You've been more than hospitable, Dr. Rossi.
Where?
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
I just talked to Elliot Carson. He said that Paul Hanley saw him leave your house the other night. He asked a lot of questions, and Elliot thinks he might find some answers.
I knew men like him in prison. They want to destroy everything that's clean and decent. You'd be a prime target for a man like Paul Hanley.
Are you sure you want to go through with this? Have you thought about grounds?
Sir, there was fraud. Thought I was going to have the baby.